What is up, everybody? This is Lyle, No Hippie Trucking and Transportation. I'm coming at you from the Sydney, Nebraska loves. I did not want to stop here, but maybe it was a blessing in disguise. Listen, I'm coming down 80, and they got that little split off where you take 80 or take 76 going into Colorado, and I must have been trying to make it home because I hit the wrong exit, but because of that, I wasn't able to make it to the destination that I wanted to make it to, which is basically that TA. I think it's in Burns, Wyoming, or right outside Cheyenne, Wyoming, because the way I was calculating my hours was I was gonna need enough time to get to this TA and still have a chance to do an on-duty inspection, and I was cutting it close. You know what I'm saying? I was calculating out the math and everything, and I was going to get there maybe with 10 to 13 minutes maybe, and be able to do that. But as soon as I missed that exit and had to turn around and do all that, wasn't able to make it. So I stopped up here at this Love's, and listen, it is extremely windy out here. So maybe it's a blessing in disguise. I mean, there's tumbleweeds out here. Like, this shit is a Western movie, and there's about to be a fucking shootout or something. So, let's see what people are saying out there. Hey, can anybody give me an update on what that wind is like going west towards Wyoming? Let's see what they say.
It gets worse from here up that way.
All right, you said it gets worse?
Yeah, I just came from Cheyenne area, and I'm shutting down over here in Sydney. It's pretty bad.
Hey, I appreciate that update. Thank you.
How much weight you got in your box?
I'm about 40, or excuse me, I think I got 43 in the box.
Yeah, I'm about 39, and it was giving me trouble.
Yeah, I don't need to get it there. I'm just gonna chill out till the night, leave out about midnight.
Yeah, it sounds about good. They said it should die down.
All our gusts today. It ain't gonna hurt nothing. If you're over 30,000, you're good to go, driver.
All right, so we have conflicting reports, but I'm just telling you, as windy as it is right here, maybe it's a blessing in disguise. I'm out of hours anyway, so, or not out of hours. I would have been out of hours that I've made it to that TA, but I have an hour and 14 minutes left on my clock right now. I can't drive till midnight.
Overall tire status changed to orange.
I can't drive till midnight because my hours don't come back until midnight Central Time. So if I leave midnight Nebraska time, drive out my hour and 14 minutes, my clock will come back, and I should have about 10 hours and 40 minutes or something like that to drive. So I'm good to go on that. But listen, I wanted to talk about one of my friends. Check him out, Tim Travels. Woo! Damn, I forgot to put some lotion on. I've been good about that lately, but the Fist of Fury, boy, that ash is, I could just punch you in the face and scar you to death with them ashy knuckles. But anyway, talked about, he was talking about one of his students that quit because he, was too much stress driving a truck and stuff like that. And I kind of wanted to circle back around on that. You know what I'm saying? I've mentioned a bunch of times that I almost quit trucking or questioned if I could do it when I was in the training process. You know what I'm saying? And I was with my first trainer. I'm driving through West Virginia in the rain, and I'm definitely looking like a brand new driver, braking around every corner and doing all this stuff. And it was like so much, it was a stress that I wasn't sure that I could deal with. And I think that as a new driver, if you're coming out here, you have to understand that you're going to be going through some stuff that's uncomfortable. Now, I've mentioned this before, but I'm going to give you a different perspective. Because before I said, you know what, I had to look at this like it was something I had to do. And after I thought about it, I was like, all right, well, I'm either going to have to put it in this mountain and then not be able to be a truck driver anymore because I flip a truck, or I'm going to have to quit because I'm just uncomfortable doing it. So I had to think rationally, and I said, listen, if these trucks over here are able to go around these corners and do all this stuff, my equipment has to be better, so I should be able to do the same thing they're doing. So I just gotta fucking run. You know what I'm saying? I gotta like push that fear to the side and just do it. And I don't think I really explained that too much, so I want to get a little bit deeper into that. And that was the mentality that went through my mind, but it was a little bit deeper than that, because it was, I think a lot of times when people are quitting, they're not looking at some of the common denominators that are out there, and they're not looking into the future. So a common denominator would be, okay, I have this horrific drive. I actually quit on the drive, tell my trainer I can't drive, and then I have a moment to reflect. And what I reflect on is, who are all these people that are out here driving? Who are the people that I see driving at truck stops, at the terminals, stuff like that? And I'm just like, these guys cannot be better than me. You know what I'm saying? They just can't be. So, and I'm not saying that there's anything wrong with them or I'm better than them, but I'm just like, how are these people capable of doing it and I'm not? So I had to put that into perspective, and then I had to look at, just overall, whenever you're trying something new, and it could be truck driving, it could be barbecue. Check out my barbecue channel, even though I'm not posting anything over there in the last 3 years, damn near. No hippie barbecue and cooking, but it could be barbecue, it could be mortgages, the business I came out of, it could be whatever. There's always going to be kind of a learning curve. And one thing I will give this profession is that the learning curve does involve a little bit more uncomfortability, maybe risk. I think that's kind of what makes it hard, but you have to realize that when you were, when I first came out driving, I never felt like I had, so let me rewind a bit. I spent like from April to November in training. For the most part of that, or at least half of that time, I never felt like I had 100% control of the truck. That was just a feeling I had. And there was a point that I just felt like that was going to be the feeling that I just had to get comfortable with. And in reality, that's not the case. In reality, at some point, like, I could probably whip this truck around and feel more comfortable driving this than I do my personal vehicle. But it takes time to build up into that. And I think that a lot of people that are feeling uncomfortable driving don't realize that it's gonna catch up to you. And the reason I'm saying this, I talked to my boy Terry at Tim Travels. I am gonna put a link to his channel in the description below. Run over there and check him out. But I've also talked to another YouTube channel, and I'm only gonna put one channel in there, Bearded Fat Man. He had a trainee, and he called me and said, hey man, I have a trainee that's feeling uncomfortable. How did you get over it? And it's not just them, it's a bunch of people. And one thing I can tell you is, if you do, just like my last video when I was talking about you don't know if you're a failure or a success because you haven't been doing it long enough, it's the same thing here. You know what I'm saying? You haven't driven long enough to understand that you are going to overcome all these different fears. You know what I'm saying? And I was one of those people that did not, when I was actually dealing with it in that specific time, I didn't think it was anything that I was going to be able to overcome. You know what I'm saying? And I had to take a step back, look at it rationally, and then kind of look at it outside of trucking. Everything that you try is going to be, everything new that you try is going to be a little bit challenging. This may be a little bit more uncomfortable than most, but it's going to be the same thing. And I'll be honest with you, and I'm not taking shots at anybody. I thought back to some of the drivers I saw at truck stops and what they can't, all the, basically I judged myself against my peers, and I was like, there is no way I'm going to be able to give up on this shit and be able to look at myself in the mirror. So that kind of is what kind of pushed me past that. But there are reasons for people to quit this industry. You know what I'm saying? There's a number, there's a number of different reasons why this isn't the right industry. Not feeling comfortable. Maybe that's not the right one unless it's persisting for a little bit longer. I was talking to Terry, Terry did a video. As a matter of fact, I'm going to link the video that he's talking about this in the description below. I don't think he gave himself enough time to actually go through the moments of uncomfortability and things like that to be able to make a wise decision. And I do think that Terry made a wise decision. As soon as somebody says, listen, I can't do it, then boom, you know what, maybe we don't continue this, because I am fearful of a trainee fucking me up. And the reason I'm fearful of it, drive through Salt Lake City inbound, and there's that truck that's out there that's all smashed up and everything. I don't know why they got that truck out there, but I felt like every time I was driving through Salt Lake City with the trainee, I was whistling through the graveyard looking at that. So I do understand that, but I do believe that some people are giving up on themselves too quick. So, anyway, that's about all I got to say on that. Don't come into trucking and feel like, and look at some of these guys and be like, man, look at this, like, backwoods Alabama, like, whatever the stereotypes would be, and I gotta be better than that. You know what? You gotta put all them stereotypes to the side. You know what I'm saying? And realize that all these people put in the same amount of work that you got to. They went through everything, and one thing that this truck does do, okay? This truck levels the playing field. You got people out here that just left, Chick-fil-A, and you got people that have left, in in his case, being an attorney. And within 6 months, you guys have gone from this path to like one similar path. You know what I'm saying? So don't give up on this shit. You know what I'm saying? The difference between you and somebody that in a past life you may have perceived as being better than you is 6 months time. You know what I'm saying? Minus anything that they have outside of trucking. You know what I'm saying? It may take a while to catch up on some of that, but as far as the monthly income, boom, you guys are right there. 6 months in, maybe a year in, whatever. Anyway, just wanted to put that out there. It really disheartens me when I see people that are giving up on themselves in a profession that I know takes a while to get accustomed to. But once you do, once you get used to this, I'm telling you, nobody, listen, I'm going to say it. Nobody was more scared driving through West Virginia mountains and the rain and all that stuff than I was. Nobody. And if you were, then you might have been paralyzed. You know what I'm saying? But once you get this shit down, man, I don't even know what I was saying. I can't even talk about that. But once you get this down, you will be ripping and running through this shit like it was like a butter, like a knife through hot butter. You'll be ripping and running through mountains in no time. So give yourself a chance. You know what I'm saying? Don't give up. Don't give up in some people's cases in the money, and don't give up on your capabilities to do the job. Anyway, I'm going to get off this video right now, run inside, take a shower, do all that stuff. I appreciate you stopping by. No Hippie Trucking and Transportation. As always, comment, subscribe. I'm out.